Today I'm joined by Kieran Yates. Kieran is the founder and owner of Trade Apps, which is an information technology and services company revolutionising the way trades and professionals manage their day-to-day operations. So welcome, Kieran.
Thank you for having me.
Look, thank you for joining us. And Kieran, look, first of all, I'd be interested to find out a little bit more about Trade Apps. Tell us a bit more about what you do.
Yeah, so Trade Apps is predominantly aimed at sort of gas engineers at the moment. Yeah, so it helps with their day-to-day sort of admin slash paperwork. So they don't have to have all the paperwork cluttered in their van. They can just sort of do it all on the app. So they can do their certificates, invoices, quotes. So it's sort of like a job management system is probably the easier term for it. Yeah, so my background is I was a plumber, gas engineer myself.
Okay.
So I don't know, like I suppose most business owners that you're always trying to think of another way to earn an easier living, I suppose. So I sort of I see a gap in the market for this app. Yeah, then done some market research, and yeah, just sort of went for it really.
So it was through your experiences, was it, as a gas
Yeah,
engineer and a plumber, that you saw a need for actually this particular sort of product and service?
yeah. So yeah, because obviously I was a gas engineer, so I understood sort of how everything works and what you need. So um, yeah, sort of went from there. Really. I started in 2017, so it's
Okay.
been a while.
Yeah,
I,
absolutely. So what?
because yeah, so I've been doing it organically. So I was still working as a plumber for 5 years while sort of doing it. So
So
yeah,
juggling the
I
different
was struggling.
demands.
Yeah, when I look back now, I'm like, I don't know how I done it because I was trying to employ people, obviously with the plumbing and
Yeah.
still working on the tools, and yeah, it was a lot of work really.
Yeah.
But
So your full time focus now is trade apps, is it? That's or have you still got the plumbing and engineering business?
no, it's the full focus on trade apps now for the last 3 years, nearly now, 2.5 years. Yeah, so I can get my teeth into it, sort of learn the style of business that I'm doing. Because yeah, I was a plumber, so I've never run this style of business. I'm always learning.
Yeah.
Um,
Even I'm often interested to know, why people become business owners, whether it was just a series of events or whether something you always wanted to do or something different. So why did you become a business owner? Did you always want to be a business owner or
I think it's just in you.
yeah?
I think it's either in you. Like some people are happy to work for someone, they like that security,
Yeah.
but then obviously some people you're always looking. I don't know. It's hard to say really, but yeah, I think it's just in you to do work for yourself. Yeah, some people can't face working for people, but yeah, I suppose it's just in me to always like it excites me building a business.
Yeah.
Like it's the building part of it, and that's what excites me. Um,
Yeah, it sounded like
yeah,
when you mentioned earlier about looking for other things. It sounds as though you're a bit of an entrepreneur. Yeah, like
yeah,
you had your other business, but actually you were
mm,
always looking for opportunities. Where's the next thing that we can find?
yeah.
So yeah, I get what you mean there. That it's sort of that it's in you. So okay, so and look, by the way, I can see the benefits of this particular product and service because um, when you're a gas engineer, plumber, electrician, whatever, you want to invest most of your time in being a gas engineer, a plumber, and engineer
Yeah.
rather than the admin. So
Mm.
this sounds like a great sort of thing that actually reduces, or at least or takes away that admin burden, or less burden, at least makes it easier. So yeah, look, sounds like a great product. When so you were juggling two businesses at the beginning. You've now focusing on one business. What would you say the biggest challenges that you've faced in that time of being a business owner?
Um, I suppose it is time and resources. I think
Mm,
when you're sort of bootstrapping a company,
Mhm.
Um, you obviously only have the money that you have coming in. So it took a couple of years before it actually started to get money coming in. So I suppose it's the biggest challenge is time and the risk, like having not enough resources to develop it quick enough. And so
Yeah.
I suppose that's the hardest bit I've had. But then I'm not, because obviously you can go down the investment route, but I'm sort of glad that I've done it I've been more patient and done it sort of a bit more slowly, because then I've learned along the way. Sometimes they say if you run before you can walk, you can get caught out. So in a way, I'm glad I've done it this way, because then I've sort of learned gradually as I've gone along,
Okay. Yeah.
rather than throw my feet in the deep end and then try and swim. But
Yeah. Look, I think
yeah,
that's
so
I think that's a
yeah,
great share, Kieran, in terms of that. If you for the listeners out there, is to if you're starting a business or growing a business or scaling a business, think about actually how you want to do it. Do you
mm,
want to get investors and whatever, and do it quick, or do you want to do it more gradually and slowly? And look, by the way, there's not necessarily a right or a wrong answer to that. It depends on a number of
yeah,
factors, the industry, the type of person that you are, the finances you've got, etc.
mm,
But yeah, it's working out what's right for you. And it sounds as though what was right for you was to do it gradually and slowly. And so, what would you say the benefits to you of doing it that way work here?
yeah. So obviously, I can learn along the way. If you're trying to, I don't know, hit some big targets in a year, you only get a year to learn the process of that business. Because I've never started a SaaS business before, so I was able to learn gradually and go to events and network and stuff like that, learn about marketing. So yeah, it's allowed me time to suppose take everything in. Because yeah, like you say, doing it gradually as well. When you run a business, you've got to live. Like
Yeah,
I'm a big believer in I won't sort of, although I work hard, but I'll make sure I have time to live along the way, because some people get caught up in work too much.
yeah,
They work all the hours and they don't do what they enjoy, because the whole point of getting a business is to earn money to do things that you like doing in life. So
yeah.
I always try and still stick to that and do what I like doing outside of work. Um,
And it's interesting that you say that, Kieran, because I share that belief in that. Well, the quote that I like is, "Being in business should give you more life." Uh,
mm,
you work to live, not live to
yeah,
work. And actually, sometimes we start off businesses thinking, right, yeah, this is, this being a business owner is going to be great. I'm gonna have
mm,
more money. I'm going to have more flexibility. I'm going to have more freedom, and it's going to give me the life that I want. But we lose sight of that, and we can lose sight of that along the way. How how do you sort of make sure that you've got focus on that and say, no, look, of course I want to grow my business. I want to have a successful business, but actually at the same time, I've got to remind myself that the business is there to give me the life that I want. How do you make sure you keep that focus?
um, I think you just got to do it.
Yeah,
It's only your mind holding you back, I suppose.
yeah,
You're sort of telling yourself, I can't go because of this. Yeah, so I just made sure, like, so I still drive my van that I had for work, because I converted it to a camper van.
nice.
I suppose I'm lucky in a sense, because it's like an online business, but we do have an office. So I converted my van to a camper van. I didn't go last year because there's a lot going on, but I think 3 years before that, I'd done long trips in Europe in my van
Nice.
whilst working. So
Yeah,
I think it's your mind that holds you back. Obviously, money, circumstances. Some people have no choice but not to live as well. I'm gaining me living is by traveling, by the way, in my
yeah.
van. So that's one thing that I've done along the ways to make sure I do this sort of stuff. So
I
I
like I
think
like
it's
that. yeah, that's great because it sounds though you have kept focus of what you enjoy, what you love, and
Yeah.
you're working out how you can you can do both, and keep that right balance.
Mm.
And I agree with you about it. It can be your mind sometimes that holds you back. Yeah, of
Mm.
course. You know, money and time can play
Yeah.
factors in that, but it's quite often that the money and time is in the mind. So in other
Yeah.
words, rather than saying, "Oh, I can't do that because I haven't got the money,"
Yeah.
or "I haven't got the time," it's actually twisting that round and saying, right, how can I do that? How can I get the money to do that? How can I'm going to go on holiday then. Right. Okay. What do I need to do to make sure I can
Mm.
go on holiday, for those whenever it is, or traveling around Europe? Or so you're right. The mind plays a big factor in that as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for
I
sharing
think
that.
the mind plays a massive factor if you have targets set for your business,
Yeah.
then that could stop you going because you're like, oh, I need to work because I want to hit these targets, but you just got to be patient.
Yeah.
Like people, yeah, people want everything tomorrow, don't they? So
Yeah.
I think have the targets, but don't put too much pressure on yourself to stop you doing the things that you like doing. Because yeah, I think having business targets can stop people doing something because they're like, oh, I could be working in that time, or so yeah.
I think that's for me. That's where the plan comes in
Mm.
because quite often we set targets in business, but we don't always set a plan on how to achieve those targets.
Mm.
So actually, if you set targets, but then create a plan of how you're going to achieve it, the plan then will show you, okay, well, how much time investment, how much monetary investment is this going to take me to achieve these targets? Am
Mm.
I am I willing to do that? Am I willing to invest that time and money to do that? Or actually, do I want to change my targets, but actually allow myself time to go on holiday, in between then or whatever it
Mm.
may be? So it's balancing those. The plan enables you to balance your
Yeah.
targets and
Mm.
make sure so that you can achieve it with the balance that you want. So I think, yeah, the key thing that stands out to me there is have your targets, have a plan of achieving your targets, and that will enable you to decide, right, can I do? Because look, some people, everybody's different. Some people go, do you know what? I'm happy to work 15 hours a day to
Yeah.
make this happen. If people are happy to do that, great. That's,
Yeah.
individuals, but not everybody is.
Mm.
So it's, their plan would be different to somebody else's plan on how they're going to achieve it. So
Yeah.
great. Look, great share. I like that. Thank you for sharing that, Kieran. So look, Kieran, if you could wave a magic wand and solve one challenge in your business right now, what would it be?
Save one just hard question. So in this current time,
Yeah, well, it just anything that springs to mind, with regard to your business, if there's, one challenge that you've currently got that, and you could just go, right, I can solve that. I don't know, it could be something to do with your team. It could be something to do with time. It could be money. It could be, growth or something. Well,
I suppose currently right now is having all the systems and processes
yeah,
in a good place because I think you need that to then scale. So because you need the data, the KPI. So yeah, I'll say systems and processes. Um, I'd like them to be just done right now.
yeah, great,
Mm.
great observation as well, because yeah, it's the systems and processes that help run a business efficiently and productively, and
Yeah.
um, makes a business more profitable and enables you
Mm.
to do the things that you enjoy. So yeah, look, great. Yeah, I
Mm.
like that. Yeah, so systems and processes, and look, you mentioned earlier, Kieran, about through um, your patience and growing your business gradually and slowly, it's enabled you to learn things along the way.
Mm.
What would you say your biggest learning since you've been in business has been?
Um, I'd say in something that I've learned. you just got to keep going, I suppose, because there's a lot of times that you're close to like, right, is this worth it or not? So I think the biggest thing is stay patient, don't rush. But everything ends up working out. Yeah, and you just got, if you believe in it, you got to keep going. So like I say, there's many times you sort of question it, but yeah, just do what you believe. Don't always listen to other people as well.
Yeah.
If you believe, obviously you want to take advice and stuff, but if you truly believe it, yeah, you've just got to go for it, really, because there'll be people close around you that sort of question it because they're just worried about you. So, but yeah, I think if you, yeah, do what you believe.
So, okay, I like that. So there's a number of things that came out there. So your biggest learning has been patience, do what you believe, stick with it. So some good stuff. And look, and you're right what you say that. I mean, I always believe we should listen to other people.
Yeah.
But not necessarily do what they say. So we listen to everyone around us, whether it, be friends, family, other business owners, specialists, whatever it may be. And we pull all that together and then we make our own decision based on those things. So, yeah, it's great to absorb all that information. But what I liked about what you sort of said is actually, listen, but then make your own decision based on, what you've learned. Look, Kevin, there's one thing I'm interested in just exploring in a little bit more detail with you is that, whilst there's a connection between, what you used to do as a plumber and gas engineer and the app that you've now created, but being owning and running a company that as that produces and provides apps is obviously very different to being a plumber and gas engineer. So how did you find that transition, and what did you have to do differently to be able to do that?
Turn my phone off so no one could ask me to do plumbing again.
I guess you've got a name for yourself, a great reputation for being a good plumber and gas engineer.
I still can't get away with it with my family, but yeah. So because when you're a tradesperson, most people say, "Oh, I could never work in an office."
Yeah,
you're used to being practical. So when sort of I made that transition and I started working in an office, but I thought I couldn't go back on the tools again.
Interesting.
So, but I think it's just because I enjoy the building of the business so much.
Yeah.
And maybe it wasn't for me anyway, because if I was looking for something away from the tool, I could have tried to grow in the plumbing business. And I would have still been running that type of business. But because I take my hat off to people that build a big trades business, because no business is easy, but that is very hard because you're relying on tradespeople to come in every day, not let your customers down. But yeah, but the transition, it wasn't too bad for me because I think I was doing the app for quite a while.
Yeah.
It's not like I just stopped plumbing and then started doing that. So I was sort of in and out of our little office. So the transition was okay.
And
yeah, now it scares me to go back.
It's often the case. And
yeah,
so because you've got a team now, you've surrounded yourself with a great sort of team. Did you have a team back then when you were a plumber and gas engineer, or was it purely you?
So with the plumbing, back then I was by myself, because when I started the app, I sort of went self-employed at the same time and bought a house. So I'd done all three things at the same time.
So you obviously like challenges then, yeah.
Yeah, and then sort of a year later is when I took the developer on. So the developer was the guy that built my plumbing website, and so I just approached him to do the app. Again, yeah, I didn't have money to invest. I'm just a bit of a risk taker, I suppose. And in the early stages, I was just trying to find work for him to cover his money. So like websites for friends and just so we weren't just building the app, we was trying to build stuff for other people to get some money in. Then it took a couple of years to, I suppose, cover that wage. And then what I'd done when the app started earning more money, I'd take on the next person,
Okay, yeah.
but I wouldn't spend it. So I would take on another person, and that person would when you take that first person after developer, she was trying to do everything like customer service, sales, like you know what it's like. So I sort of just grew like that when there was more money.
So yeah,
Because
so
to be
you
honest, at the
invest.
start,
So
yeah,
go on.
at the start, I never had when I first started the app. My mindset was I don't need a lot of people to earn some money from this. I never had like a big plan.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just over the years when it's opened my eyes up to tech and apps, and then that's when I've put more of a plan in place and think, yeah, I can do something good with this. So yeah, over that time period, me plumbing, I was just taking on people as I could,
Yeah.
and then yeah, so 2.5 years ago I stopped, and last year is when I really grew the team.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
And it is about, yeah, sort of surrounding yourself. You highlighted something sort of very important there. When you start out, you're trying to do everything, aren't you? You're trying
yeah,
to you know create the business. You're trying to be the marketing person, the salesperson,
yeah,
do the operations, do the finances, all of this sort of thing. And
mhm,
yeah, actually, to scale and grow a business, you need to surround yourself with a great team of people,
mhm.
which is, yeah, like what you've started to do. And how did you then take to being because the role then again changes, doesn't it? Because you then become more of a manager and a leader. How have you adapted and changed to that role?
Yeah, because people that know me, I'm not really that sort of person, like a boss, and yeah, I can lead like in a good way, but I don't look at myself as an employer.
Okay.
I struggle with that for some reason. Although everyone knows there's a job to do, but I'm quite friendly with everyone, and I try and have that balance of yeah, I'm an employer, but we get along as well.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think that's been quite hard really to adapt to being an employer because I'm quite reserved. So even in doing meetings like with people, it's not like it's out my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I've done a lot of networking over the last 2, 3 years to help improve that. So like even sitting around a round table with people I don't know and talking. And I went to a Toastmasters.
Okay.
I went there once. It didn't work out well for me. But yeah, I think the transition to being an employer in this environment, yeah, wasn't that easy for me. Um,
Yeah.
it's all yeah outside my comfort zone because I'm not a person that would normally speak in a big group environment. So
Well, look, well done. Well done for doing it, because it's like you
mm,
sort of highlighted earlier. You've even though it wasn't straightforward for you, you kept going, and the
mm,
fact that even there that you demonstrated, well, look, I knew that I needed to develop these skills, and I went to Toastmasters and that
mm,
sort of thing. Okay, that strategy may not have worked out for you, but what it shows me that as a business owner, you've got this. Well, how can I develop these particular
mm,
areas, which is great. And by the way, look, it's a common thing because there's no lessons at school, is there, in terms of how to be a business owner?
yeah,
There's no lessons in school in terms of leadership and management and those sort of things. So it is things that we generally, pick up on the way, teach
mm,
ourselves, get it from podcasts, books, whatever it may be. So yeah, it's quite common that not everybody is a natural business owner, leader, manager. So okay, so
mm.
look, Kieran, there's one question I like to ask everybody that's kind enough to join me on this discussion, and that's this: what is the best advice that you would give to an 18-year-old you? So if you could go back and speak to yourself when you were 18, what would you say to yourself?
Yeah. I think it's going back to what we said earlier. Just sort of believe, um, yeah, believe in what you're doing. Obviously, you need to have you need to do your research. I don't think every idea you should believe in, but yeah, I think just believe, be patient, and it will work out if it's meant to be.
Okay, brilliant. All right, so yeah, just re-emphasize those points. So believe, be patient, do your research, which I like to do
Yeah,
as well. Because look, when you're younger, you've got to try different things, haven't you?
yeah, yeah.
Just try that. I didn't quite like that. Enjoy that. But try
Mm.
that. Didn't like that. Read up on it. So yeah, I like that. And believe. Brilliant stuff. Okay, Ken. Well,
Yeah,
look, thank you for sharing that. I really enjoyed that discussion, and I really appreciate
yeah,
you taking the time to speak with me today and sharing more about your business and also your journey as well. So, thank you very much.
yeah. No worries. Thank you for having me.